Hello, everyone, and welcome to a bonus episode of Moody Talks for Interpersonal Effectiveness. The last 4 weeks, we've been going through what is interpersonal effectiveness and how do we get what we want, keeping the relationships that we have that we want to keep, and also keeping our own self-respect while in conflict. And so if you haven't gone back and watched these videos, I highly recommend them because this week we're talking about troubleshooting if these things don't work. Okay, so trying these things first is the most important part of learning about interpersonal effectiveness. So go on back and watch those videos. And in the troubleshooting guide, it basically says that. Did you practice everything that, we talked about before? Is there, no matter what you did that are a part of these skills that we talked about, there's still this conflict and there's still this trouble with a relationship. Okay, so head on back, and I highly recommend it because we get really deep into, how to go into conflict feeling as though we have an objective, feeling as though we're confident in what we're asking for or not asking for. We can say no without, having to continually explain. No is a final answer, right? And, how we can keep a relationship that we want to keep. How can we make this conflict resolve without hurting the relationship and keeping that relationship healthy? Okay, and then the objective of effectiveness is basically learning how to get what you want, learning how to talk to someone and, bargain maybe and do a couple of different things that you can do to get what you want. Okay, so here's the troubleshooting. When what you are doing isn't working. So, number one, do I have the skills I need? Check out the instructions, which are the past few weeks that we've been in. So review what has already been tried. So if you have gone through all of the things that we've talked about in the past 3 weeks, 4 weeks actually, oh my goodness, we're in a 5th week. If you've practiced these and you've used these, then okay, let's go. We're going to review what is already. Do I know how to be skillful in getting what I want? That's objective effectiveness. Do I know how to say what I want to say? Okay. And then also, do I follow the skill instructions to the letter? I mean, you don't have to follow them to the letter, but using the skills that we talked about, fast, dear man, all these skills that DBT collected and give you to use in your toolbox for communication with others. Okay. Then number 2, do I know what I really want in this interaction? Ask, am I undecided about what I really want in this interaction? Am I unsure of my priorities? Am I having trouble balancing asking for too much versus too little? Or saying no to everything versus saying yes to everything? Is fear or shame getting in the way of knowing what I really want? Okay, there's a lot here. Okay, so let's go through it a little more. Am I undecided about what I really want? If you're going into a conflict and you have a idea of what you want, you're not going to get what you need in that communication or overall, because you need to know exactly what you're asking for or not asking for in a conflict. You have to be sure you're saying no with every fiber of your being, right? Not, well, I don't think I want to do that. You need to know going into a conflict. It's the only way for a resolution, honestly, because if you go in there like, I don't know, I think this is what I want. You might not even get what you want. You may get what you think you want, and it's nothing that you actually wanted or needed, right? So we need to go into conflict knowing exactly what we're looking for, okay? And am I having trouble balancing? So that means asking for too much versus too little. Again, if you know what you need, you're going to ask for exactly the amount that you need, Okay, you're not asking for too much. You're not asking for more than what you need, and you're definitely not asking for less than what you need. Okay, you're asking for exactly the needs that you have. And that's why, when I get into a conversation with someone and I don't actually really know what I want or need in that situation, I ask to table it for at least an hour so that I can sit down and really think about what is going on here. What is it that I'm looking for? What is it that I want out of this? Okay, so stepping back can be very good for a conflict and to be able to resolve it in an hour, 2 hours, a day if you need it, right? And then saying no to everything versus saying yes to everything. Are you just saying no because, you don't want to deal with this? You're saying yes because you don't know how to deal with this? So using those two words all the time not only is not going to get what either of the people need, but it also makes you either easy to get what they need from you, or really just why bother trying? They're just going to say no anyway. And that's not good for a healthy relationship. And is fear or shame getting in the way of knowing what you want, right? Shame is huge. If you need something or want something that you don't believe you deserve, and you have shame for that, then again, you're not going to get your needs met. Okay. Number 3, are short-term goals getting in the way of long-term goals? Ask, is now winning out over getting what I really want in the future? So if you're always going in saying, I need this now, I want this now, this is what needs to happen now, people may not be willing to work with you later down the road, and you've cut yourself short because you're so involved in this has to happen now and this has to happen now that you're not thinking in the future of what you may need. And if this communication is not working well with the other person, they're not going to want to deal with you. Is emotion mind controlling what I say and do instead of wise mind? We've talked about wise mind, and it's walking the middle path uh, of emotion mind and reason mind. Okay, so it's the middle path of that. So are you getting too emotional and not really thinking about what the objective is in this? Okay, that's what they're talking about in that. Okay, number 4. Are my emotions getting in the way of using my skills? Ask, do I get too upset to use my skills? Are my emotions so high that I am over my skills breakdown point? Okay. So if you're not stepping back into wise mind, which is, just looking at something very objectively, you're not going to be able to use the skills that you have, that you've built, which I hope, again, that you've gone back in the last 4 weeks and learned some of these skills. The effectiveness of these skills actually really does work for self-respect, for keeping relationships and getting what you want. Okay, so if you can't work with your skills because you're too emotional, there's really no way that you're going to get anything out of this conflict or this communication with someone. Are worries, assumptions, and myths getting in my way? Ask, are thoughts about bad consequences blocking my action? For instance, they won't like me, or she will think I am stupid. Okay, so those negative thoughts about ourselves, are they getting in the way? Our thoughts about not deserving things getting in my way, right? I don't deserve this. I need it, but I don't really deserve it. Again, this is more about self-respect. I am such a bad person, I don't deserve this. So that is toxic shame right there. When you believe that you're a bad person, so you don't deserve something. And toxic shame has no place in our emotion wheel. Okay? Am I calling myself names that stop me from doing anything? Like, I won't do it right, I'll probably fall apart, or I'm so stupid. Are you name calling yourself? This happens in a snap for a lot of us. We automatically assign ourselves these negative names and, stupid and undeserving, that kind of thing. Do I believe myths about interpersonal effectiveness? If I make a request, this will show that I am a weak person. Only wimps have values. Yeah, these are some crazy ass myths. Uh, there's a whole bunch of myths that are in the DBT workbook that talks about, what are myths for communicating with others. Okay, and that is a huge one. If I make a request, do I look weak? Right? I need something from someone, does that mean I can't take care of myself? No, that has nothing to do with it. We're going to need to ask others for things throughout our lives. Again, that's really hard for me. I am like the most independent person to a fault. I don't want to rely on other people for things. But over the years, as I've been building my toolbox and working through my trauma, I've learned that it's okay to ask for help. And it's really important to ask for help from others because also that builds relationships, right? Let's see. And number 6 is the environment more powerful than my skills? Ask, are the people who have what I want or need more powerful than I am? Are other people more in control of the situation than I am? Will others be threatened if I get what I want? Do others have reasons for not liking me if I get what I want? Okay, so this can be work environment for sure, like someone who's a boss. Are these people who have what I want or need more powerful than I am? So it's a power structure, right? So bosses, parents, therapists, even. Is this environment not healthy for me to get what I need out of things? Do others have reasons for not liking me if I get what I want? That's a troublesome environment. You can't be living in an environment like that if other people won't like you because you need something, right? So these are the 6 different, ideas to think about when the skills that you've developed for interpersonal effectiveness don't seem to be working right. So there's a lot of questions there. There's a lot to think about, and it's really important that we understand these, these ideas of what may be holding us back. Again, it's building a toolbox. When you aren't able to figure out what's going on after using your skills, this is a whole other skill set that helps you to better understand your situation and the conflict. So I hope that helps, and I will, this is the final week of interpersonal effectiveness. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to put them in the comment section or DM me because I'm more than happy to talk more about this. I think it's very important and a skill set that we haven't been taught ourselves. So we need to learn these skills outside of our own relationships. Have a great rest of the week. Bye.